Welcome back to the Saskatoon Berries expansion franchise for Out of the Park Baseball 25. I greatly appreciate all the support you guys have been showing these videos. As always, make sure you hit that like button. If you are loving Berries content, it helps us out against the YouTube algorithm and expands our influence across YouTube. So I greatly appreciate all the support. We have finished the amateur draft in season 2. We are at the All-Star break. We're kind of following the first few games out of that. And the Berries are currently 35-54, 18 games out of first in the division, 12 and a half games out of a playoff spot. One of the worst teams in the American League. It has been a struggle this year. As you can see, we are 21st in runs, 21st in average, 25th in home runs. Our offense has been bad, but the pitching has been absolutely dreadful. So the plan is here to attack the trade deadline and make our way all the way through to the end of season 2 and see who the playoff champion is going to be. And see who the World Series champion for season of 2025 is going to be. Last year it was the Minnesota Twins. They look very good this year. We'll see if we can make any sort of improvements in the second half, and we need to make some improvements here at the trade deadline. I have some plans in mind. We're going to see what comes together here. We're also working on signing the rest of our draft picks. We have signed our number 1 pick this year with Brady Evil. He is already at A-ball with the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We're negotiating with the rest. Hopefully we can get all of them signed, although we have a couple high school guys that may be tough to fit in to our budget, but we'll see what happens there. And we're going to go right through the trade deadline. I have some players that are becoming free agents. Jose Urquidy, Cavan Biggio, Lamont Wade Jr., Brent Suter, Ross Stripling, Jimmy Garcia. All are guys I would like to probably move out. I have some ideas also to move off of Taylor Saucedo and Cavan Biggio. So we'll see what comes together there as we've been shopping them around. But I want to see and try to add to our depth in our minor league system, in particular prospects very close to the majors in that AA, AAA fold, especially starting pitching. So let's jump into it and see what happens. Big news, though, for the Berries. We have locked up right fielder Josh Naylor long-term, 4 years, $21.65 million per season. I will say the last one is a player option at $18 million. So do keep that in mind. We are kind of front-loading it a little bit. Takes him through age 31. The hope and thought here is that we can move Naylor to first base. We'll move out Lamont Wade. Josh Naylor can play first base and DH exclusively. We don't need to worry about him playing in the outfield then. So we'll move Josh Naylor into play first base on a full-time basis and give us that slug and contact that we need. He's been okay, kind of league average since we picked him up in 33 games, 4 home runs, 17 RBIs. So hopefully he can continue to improve there, especially in the middle of our lineup, and offer that lefty complement bat to our power righty in Tyler O'Neill. Prize shortstop prospect Averson Arteaga, who was probably one of the front runners for Rookie of the Year, if we're being honest, before he got hurt. He is now back and is back with the Berries. He is going to be, once again, back as our starting shortstop. More news in the draftee front. Our number 2 prospect, Miguel Syme Jr., a second-round pick. He has signed, and he is now in rookie ball, although the rookie league team is now finished for the season, so we're contemplating whether to take them up to A-ball or not. Same with Brady Abel. We are still working on the others and negotiating what we're going to see fits for their demands. Thus far, as we approach the deadline, not finding any trades really are enticing me at all. I'd long to get some starting pitching. Everybody's offering kind of relievers and kind of middling shortstop type prospects. So hopefully we can find something a little closer to the deadline here as we continue to look at more offers. More minor leaguers signed from our draft, so that's very good. Looks like we're going to get them all signed, which is a huge sign moving forward for the Berries. Really going to help some organizational depth. A lot of good starting pitchers and catchers in particular that we've been able to add to the minor league system. Okay, we have our first trade of the deadline. We are going to send reliever Jimmy Garcia and third base prospect Cole Mathis. Now, Cole Mathis is a two-way player. You can see his stats there as a third baseman, which we've set him to. If you set him to a starting pitcher, he's kind of meh. He was a draft pick for us last year. He's not very happy. So we're going to set him as a third baseman regardless. His hitting stats are pretty good, but he's already 22 years old at A-ball. I'm not really sure what to do with him. So we're going to take a look at this third baseman, Juan Burgos from the Tampa Bay Rays, and look at these stats. He is a international signing from the Rays. He has a tremendous potential as a hitter and a solid enough fielder potentially at third base, I think. He's going to have to work on the defense, but there's no question the hitting ability is there. He's only 17 years old. I think this is a high upside pick for us. So I think Juan Burgess is a good pickup for us to build towards the future here and move out a reliever that we are not going to be bringing back anyway. And a player that I don't really know what we're doing with Cole Mathis. So we'll reset there and bring in a guy that we know is going to be a third baseman in Juan Burgess. So we're going to complete this trade. So it is trade deadline day. Officially, we are 40 and 62. We're still 17 games out, still 22 games under 500. So we have got to make a run here in moving some players out and resetting the roster for next season. I'm really looking for some young starting pitching still. I have a couple of options here. I'm looking at moving some players out, be able to move some players in, and hopefully we can make this work for us. So our second deal is going to be moving out reliever Taylor Saucedo, the lefty, and bringing back a couple of pitching prospects. 25-year-old Efrain Contreras, who looks very close to being Major League Baseball ready, as well as starter Ryan Burchard, 22 years old, who's had very good success in the Brewers minor league system. So moving out a reliever for a couple of starters for the minor leagues. Third deal we're coming up with, sending out third baseman Cavan Biggio, our all-star representative for catcher Omar Hernandez with the Kansas City Royals, another minor league prospect. I love the defense. He's got a little bit of speed. Hopefully he can continue to develop the power. Maybe a little underwhelming there, but having a very good year last year in high A ball, not so good this year. So hopefully he can get him bounced back a little bit. Only 23 years old. So hopefully making our AA team next year and just moving another contract piece out. This will also open up a spot for Lenyon Sosa to move up from AAA and fill in the spot either at second or third for us. Another trade we're going to make, we're going to send out reliever Brent Suter and our third round prospect from last year, Theo Gillen, a shortstop. Gillen just really hasn't produced with the bat. I'm not seeing the power potential here. I love his speed, the potential for the defense. That's why we drafted him. But we have an opportunity to pick up starter Blake Dickerson, a 20-year-old minor league starter in the Tigers organization who's pitched really well at rookie ball. I really like what he offers here. I think it's very similar. The movement, the control has nice potentials. The pitch potentials are there, in fact, in my opinion. So I'm going to bring in Blake Dickerson, add another starter. We drafted a ton of shortstops the last couple of years, so I think we can really afford to make this move to continue to add to our starting rotation. So that has brought us to the end of our trade deadline. We've been able to make a few moves. We've added a bunch of young starting pitching to the minor league system. I'm really hoping that this is going to help our team in the long run. In the short term, it's going to be long-term pain. I have made some changes to the team, so you can check it out here a little bit. We have added Lenyon Sosa, as I've been talking about. He has been excellent for us at AAA. He is the high-end prospect we got for Jason Foley in a deal. He is going to play second base for us. That's probably his best position right now. Although he profiles a little bit better as a first baseman, that's okay. We can play him at second base for now. At AAA, he was really, really good. A 110 OPS plus, 23 home runs, 65 RBIs, a really, really good season to this point. So we have brought him up to play second base. That has moved Justin Foscue over to third base, which I hope is going to balance out our offense a little bit. I would love to add another left-handed hitting power hitter or just a couple left-handed hitters in the offseason. But there's the look of the team right now. We've also brought up Jake Rogers to back up Joey Bart. We need a little depth at catcher. Walker Buehler's been added to the starting rotation. He's been solid for us in his first few starts. And the bullpen is a work in progress. As you can see here, we've had a bunch of different guys here. Middle relief, long relief. We got a mix of everything here. So hopefully some guys can figure it out, and we'll see what we can do with the pitching staff moving forward. So we've reached the end of August. We just picked up our 50th win this season. We are 50 and 81. We are the last team to hit 50 wins this season. It has been a struggle indeed. All I'm hoping for at this point in time is to get through the end of September and pray that we have not been fired. So that brings us to the end of the regular season. Unfortunately, the Berries go on to go 58 and 104. That's the worst record in baseball. That's really, really going to hurt. I'm just praying that we do not get fired. We have hit some of our goals, though. Played close to 500 ball. Of course, we didn't. Justin Foscue wasn't upgraded at second base, so hopefully that helps us. Our attendance, of course, dropped from last year. Not surprising. Our farm system is up to 17th. So we're going to continue to try to build this team up. We're going through the playoffs here now. see who brings home the World Series championship, and then we'll set ourselves up. That will set ourselves up for the offseason in the next one. So there you have the playoff tree. The Boston Red Sox, Texas Rangers both get a bye. It's Cleveland and Seattle, Houston and Baltimore. In the National League, Milwaukee and Tampa Bay earn the bye. St. Louis, Cincinnati, Chicago, and the Dodgers. As far as international scouting for the amateur international part, we're just going to invite all the top players. We need every bit of help we can get in the minor league system. So I'm going to run this and get the best players available and probably put all of my money into one or two of them this season. As for the playoffs, the Boston Red Sox are taking on the Houston Astros, who they beat the Orioles. Cleveland has advanced to the second round once again. Cincinnati has an early lead on the Brewers, who took out the Cardinals, and Tampa Bay has the lead on the Dodgers here in round 2, who took out the Chicago Cubs. So in the ALCS, it is Cleveland and Boston, NLCS, Cincinnati, and the Dodgers. So let's get it going, see who can bring home the World Series title. We have our World Series matchup, Cincinnati and Cleveland. Taking a look at the Guardians lineup there, Jorge Soler, Kyle Manzardo, the new players involved there. They have great pitching. Shane Bieber, Gavin Williams, Tanner Bybee, Tristan McKenzie, Emmanuel Clase. Very, very similar to what they still are in real life, minus Jorge Soler. As for the Reds, kind of what you'd expect. Led by Ellie De La Cruz, Christian Encarnacion Strand is a beast. Matt McLean, Will Benson, Noel Marte is back in there. They have Brian Bayo as well as Jordan Hicks in their rotation. And of course, backed by new closer, actually, Hunter Green and Alexis Diaz with Griffin Jacks. They have a pretty nasty bullpen as well. So let's see who can bring home the title in 2025. The season is, in fact, over. We got a score of 1. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think we're going to have to make some improvements here. That is not what we were looking for. But doesn't look like we've been fired, at least at this point. So we need to make some moves. We're definitely going to have to make some moves in the offseason in terms of our staffing as well. We have some new goals. We're going to try and play 500 ball. We need to increase our attendance up to 30, almost a sellout. We need to bring in a manager with a better reputation. We need to build a top 6 minor league system. We're current 17th. Hopefully we can keep building that. We need to improve our staff cohesion and keep building your team up in order to reach the playoffs. Our current cohesion is very unhappy. So we have a lot to do in this off season. Our market size, though, has increased to below average. So that's something to help us out a little bit. We have a new budget decided for the upcoming season of $202 million available for total team expenses. Current spending and staff of the cost, it should allow you to a team payroll of around $120 million. That's a big thing for us. We did cut some salary. We do have some players moving out that way, so hopefully we can make some free agent signings. We can deal with our ticket prices and all that. Review our season goals. We are well short in terms of our team record. We understand that. We haven't really upgraded yet. Justin Foscue's a little bit better, but not quite all the way what we're looking for. Our attendance fell, so that's not so good. We have found a top 20 prospect, so that worked out. Our farm is still getting better, and we're still trying to reach some of these long-term goals. So as we've seen the new goals there. We have one member who has retired from our staff. Probably have to clear out a bunch of stuff there. I've decided, hey, your new contract is we get another 2-year contract. Okay, value of $700,000 per year. We are improving. We do have some personnel leaving at the AAA level, as well as AA, high A ball, rookie league. That's all fine. We need to fill in a bunch of spaces there. There are the top 10 prospects. We do not have any there. We have the top prospects report for us. Well, who is our top hitting prospect? We have Brady Ebel, our number 1 draft pick, is at number 47. He may be the only hitter we have in the top 100. Pitching wise, we should have someone up here. David Montmayor is the number 12 overall prospect. He is at rookie ball. He really struggled there. He'll be back at rookie ball again next year. As well as Demario Fleitas is another, I believe, international signing. Yeah, a scouting discovery. He is 17 years old and in our international complex. He is number 86 overall prospect. So we are making some improvements in our minor league system. Ross Atkins has been fired in Toronto. Shocking, as has the GM, David Frost, with the Athletics. So we have a lot of things that we need to do. I'm a little surprised we did not get fired. So we've got some pieces we need to take care of. Averson Arteaga, very, very solid. He had a 3.8 WAR given he missed a month. And Lenyon Sosa are guys that we're going to build around. Sosa was a little underwhelming, maybe in the major leagues, his first taste, but he probably will be back there this next season. Tyler O'Neill, Justin Foscue had a decent enough season. 0.8 WAR. His defense isn't the best, though, as well as Christian Robinson, who struggled at times and had some injury issues. But hopefully, we might be able to put him in AAA next year and sneak him through there. As well, we'll have some better health, hopefully, with Josh Naylor and Nelson Velasquez. The pitching staff is a complete and total work in progress, and as is our bullpen. We may even move on for Abner Uribe if we can get a bunch of players for him, but we will see what happens there. He was below league average. I think our entire pitching staff was below league average, if we're being honest. So there is a ton of work to do. But there are some quality free agents that are going to be out there. Edwin Diaz, Devin Williams, Ryan Helsley, Clay Holmes, a bunch of bullpen help. Yandy Diaz is out there. Brandon Woodruff is a starter. Cody Bellinger, Griffin Canning, Dylan Cease is a player that I'm very interested in. Dustin May, Tim Meza, Hobie Milner. There's a bunch of relievers out here. Luis Ariz would be a very nice contact hitter. Lamont A. Jr. we may bring back as well. Zach Eflin would be another starter. I think we really, really, really have to focus on our pitching staff. So there's kind of a look at the offseason. I don't think I've told you yet. I wanted to take a look at Rookie of the Year voting in the American League. Averson Arteaga had 3.8 WAR. It looks like he's one of the top contenders. Brooks Lee had 4.1 WAR. Marcella Myers probably give me the guy 6.5 WAR. But my Averson Arteaga may finish in the top 3 of Rookie of the Year voting in the American League, which would be really cool. I don't know if I've mentioned or not, the Cleveland Guardians did win the World Series. They swept the Cincinnati Reds. So that sets us all up for the offseason. You know we have got to improve the pitching staff. You know we have to improve our depth and continue to add players to this roster. I think we can make a big step next season. Hopefully we can play close to 500 ball in 2026. But there you have it. Thank you so much for appreciate all the support, you guys. Make sure you comment down below. Go Berries go and hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate all support. As always, go check out all the videos that are going on at 3 Up, 3 Down. Until next time, take care, everyone.